and welcome to my channel where together we make maths easy. I am Komal Sharma and I am here to help you out in maths. Today we will be discussing the algebraic method of solving of linear equation, and the method we will discuss today is the elimination method. Elimination, as you know, means, what does elimination mean? It means to get rid of या पूरी तरह हटाना or to completely remove is known as elimination. So as the name implies, this method involves in completely removing one of the variables out of the two equations and then finding out the value of the variables. If I want to give you an outline of how we will proceed for this method, we see it as, first step, multiply one or both of the equations by a suitable number so that the coefficient of one variable becomes numerically equal. Now when the coefficient of one of the variables become numerically equal, we either add them or subtract them depending upon their signs. So the next thing what we do is add or subtract both the equations from one another so that one variable gets cancelled out or it gets eliminated. Then what do you do next? Solve the resulting equation to find the value of one variable. Now we have eliminated one variable, so the equation has become a linear equation in one variable. So you can easily find out the value. And after finding out the value of one variable, what do? You substitute the value in any of the equations to get the value of the other variable. So this is the language part. If I try to convert the steps into language, this is what you have to do. Now we will practice a few questions, and I'm sure by the end of this video you will be able to do questions of even higher difficulty level which can be solved by the elimination method. We will solve this question using the elimination method of linear equations in two variables. I have been given two equations, x plus y is equal to 5. Let us say this is the first equation, and 2x minus 3y is equal to 4. This is the second equation. So according to what we studied, what we have to do is we have to see whether the coefficients of any of the variables are equal or not. They are not equal. Over here the coefficient is what? 1. Over here is the coefficient 2. Here the coefficient is plus 1. Here the coefficient is minus 3. So what are we required to do? We have to equate the coefficients. Make any of the coefficient equal. How to make the coefficient equal? Over here it is 2x. Over here it is x. So if I multiply the entire equation 1 by number 2. No problem in doing this. Any equation, if we do the same operation on the left hand side also and on the right hand side also, then the value of the equation remains the same. So multiplying this equation by 2. If you multiply, what do you see? 2 into x, it is 2x plus, multiply this by 2, or 2y is equal to 5 2s are 10. Is this clear? What about the next? Copy the second equation as it is. Now we observe that these coefficients are equal. We have made them equal. But the problem is, this is positive and this is also positive. So when both coefficients are of the same sign, you will subtract the equation. You will subtract the equations. And when both coefficients are of opposite signs, you will add the equations. This is one important tip I am giving you. So if both the coefficients are of the same sign, subtract the equations, and if both coefficients are of opposite signs, add the coefficients. So both are of the same sign, so what do? Subtract the equation. And subtracting means changing the sign. It is positive here, so negative, minus will become plus, and plus will become minus. Now 2x and minus 2x cancel. Plus 2y plus 3y becomes 5y, and plus 10 minus 4, it will become equal to 6. So drag out 5 here. So the value of y comes out to be 6 upon 5. What have we done? We have equated the coefficients, eliminated one of the variables, converted the equation into one variable equation, and found out the value of the one variable. Now how to find out the value of x? Now for finding out the value of the second variable, what do? We substitute the value, value of y in which equation? Any equation you like. So let me say I like equation 1. Why? Because it is simpler. So what is the equation? X plus y is equal to 5. So x I do not know, y is 6 upon 5 is equal to 5. So transpose this to the other side, minus 6 upon 5, take LCM. So this will be 5 into 5 minus 6, which is 25 minus 6 upon 5, and if you solve it further, you get 19 upon 5. So you've got both the values. What is the answer then? Write the value of x first. So x is 19 upon 5, and what about y? Y is 6 upon 5. On solving this, we get 19 upon 5. So you have the value of x here and the value of y here. So I write down the answer. I write it here. Answer, x is equal to 19 upon 5 and y is equal to 6 upon 5. So this is how we have eliminated one of the variables initially and then find out the values of both the variables. So we have to use the elimination method to solve these equations. Solve these equations means to find out the values of x and y which will satisfy both these equations. So the first thing we see is that the constant is on this side. So let us transpose it on the other side. So this equation becomes 3x minus 5y is equal to, I take it to the other side, it becomes 4. Let me say this is the first equation. And what about this? 9x is here. Okay. Transpose y and let constant be on the other side. We have to have it in this form. Ax plus by is equal to c. So the second equation becomes 9x minus 2y is equal to 7. Now we have to do what? Equate the coefficients. So if I look into this equation, the coefficient over here is 3x and over here is 9x. So how to equate this? If I multiply this first equation by 3, if I multiply this equation by 3, so this will become 3 3s are 9 and it is already 9 here. So write down multiply equation 1 by 3. Multiplied by 3, so you get what? 3 3s are 9x minus 15y is equal to 12. And second equation, are we required to do anything in the second equation? No, copy it as it is. So this becomes 9x minus 2y is equal to 7. Now we have both the equations written together and we see that the coefficients are equal and have the same sign. So we discussed it in the previous question that when coefficients are equal and have the same sign, so what do? We subtract the equations. On subtracting the equations, what do? Change the sign change the sign, change the sign. Plus becomes minus, minus plus, and again plus minus. Now when I operate both of them, these cancel. This is what here, minus 15 plus 2. It becomes minus 13y. And 12 minus 7 is 5. So what is the value of y we get? Y becomes minus 5 upon 13. We've got the value of one variable y, which is equal to minus 5 upon 13. Now for the next value, substitute या put value of y in which equation? It can be either equation 1 or it can be equation 2. So I put the value of y in equation 2. Equation 2 says 9x minus 2y is equal to 7. So 9x minus 2 into minus 5 upon 13 is equal to 7. So 9x is equal to 10 upon 13. 9x minus 10 upon 13 is equal to 7. So 9x is equal to 7 plus 10 upon 13. When you take the LCM and solve this, you get x is equal to 9 upon 13. So this is the value of x. So we have solved both of these equations and find out the values. X is equal to 9 upon 13 and y is equal to minus 5 upon 13. Let us solve this question. The question says x upon 2 plus 2y upon 3 is equal to minus 1 and x upon 1, or either you can also think it as x minus y upon 3 is equal to 1. Nothing is given, so we will write x upon 1. So the first thing that comes to our mind is get rid of these fractions. How to get rid of these fractions? Take the LCM. So 2 and 3 LCM is what? 6. When you take 6 as the LCM, you get 3x plus 2 2s are 4y is equal to minus 1. Now this cross multiply, so you will get 3x plus 4y is equal to minus 6. So the equation was looking a bit complicated here, but once we have simplified, it has become simple. 3x plus 4y is equal to minus 6. Let us do the same thing with the second equation. The second equation, if you take the LCM, 1 into 3 is 3. What do you get here? 3x minus y. Cross multiply, you will get 3x minus y is equal to 9. Now we have converted both these equations into a simple form and we have got rid of the fractions. So first equation I have is 3x plus 4y is equal to minus 6, and the second equation I have is 3x minus y is equal to 9. If you look at these equations, you see that already, just because you have simplified, you have got the coefficients of x as the same, plus 3 here and plus 3 here. So we don't have to multiply these equations by any number. The coefficients are already equal. So what do? I told you that if the coefficients are equal and have the same sign, we have to subtract both the equations. So you have to write down subtract equation 1 and 2. So write down the first equation, 3x plus 4y is equal to minus 6, and write down the second one, 3x minus y is equal to 9. Subtract them. This is positive here, so you will operate on negative. This is negative here, positive, and positive here, so you get a negative. Now what do? When we operate, this gets cancelled. Plus 4 and plus 1 becomes 5, and minus 9 and minus 6 become minus 15. So y will become minus 15 upon 5, and when you cancel, you will get the value of y as minus 3. So one value of the variable we have already got, y is equal to minus 3. Now for the second equation, substitute value of y in equation 2, the second equation. So you get x minus y upon 3 is equal to 3. And what value of y do you put here? Minus 3 upon 3 is equal to 3. Then operate. So x plus 3 upon 3 is equal to 3. Cancel this. So this becomes x plus 1 is equal to 3, or x is equal to, transpose it to the other side. So it becomes 3 minus 1. So x is equal to 2. So what are the values of x and y you have got? Let me write down the answer here. You don't have to write it here. I am writing it for visibility. X is equal to 2 and y is equal to minus 3. This is the answer. These are the values of x and y we got on solving these two equations. The next question we'll take is of decimals. So the first equation is x plus y is equal to 3.3, and the second equation is 0.6 upon 3x minus 2y is equal to minus 1. So the first equation is given already in the form of ax plus by is equal to c. The second we will convert. Convert means cross multiply. So this will give 0.6 is equal to minus 1 into 3x minus 2y. So this is 0.6 minus 3x plus 2y. Agreed? So the second equation, let me rewrite it here. Minus 3x plus 2y is equal to 0.6. So we have both the equations together so that at a glance we can make out which coefficient to equate. So this is x here minus 3, y coefficient is 1, y coefficient is 2. So let us multiply the first equation with 2. If we multiply this equation with 2, then this coefficient will become equal. So multiply this entire equation, write down, multiply equation 1 by 2. So you get what? 2x plus 2y is equal to 2 into 3.3. 2 3s are 6, 2 3s are 6. Simple. Third, what about the next equation? Minus 3x plus 2y is equal to 0.6. Now we have equated the coefficients. Now we have to decide whether to add or to subtract. So we have already discussed that if they are of the same sign, we subtract both the equations. And subtracting means changing the sign of the lower equation. So change the sign of the lower equation. Now as soon as you start the operation, it becomes 5x is equal to this minus this 0 and 6. So x is equal to 6 upon 5, and when you convert it to decimals, you get x is equal to 1.2. So you have already got the value of one variable by eliminating the second variable. So x is equal to how much? 1.2. Now how to find out the value of y? Substitute the value of x in which equation? Obviously this equation is the simpler one. So we will put in equation 1. So what is equation 1? X plus y is equal to 3.3. What is the value of x? 1.2 plus y is equal to 3.3. So y is equal to 3.3 minus 1.2. So you get y is equal to 2.1. So if I want to write down the answer, I can write x is equal to 1.2 and y is equal to 2.1. If this is asked in multiple choice question, then you can look at the choice and mark whichever choice has x is equal to 1.2 and y is equal to 2.1.